Good morning, guys. Hope everyone's doing good. Welcome, welcome. We're going to do a bit of a morning update here for you guys regarding the current weather. Got ourselves a little bit of stuff going on in the severe weather realm. What's up, Daily? Hope you're doing good, man. Glad to have you here. Good morning to you. Hopefully you're doing good. If you're in the UK, it's not morning right now. At least I don't think. But either or, good morning. Hope you're doing good. What's up, Roy? Hope you're doing good. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get on into it. So today, got a little bit of severe weather going on. We're gonna go ahead and bring up the. Actually, we're gonna bring y'all over here. There we go. So we got ourselves a marginal risk here for severe weather today. Got a level 1 severe weather threat. The scale goes up to 5. Like I mentioned, the level 5 is like worst case scenario type of event, and thankfully we're not really seeing anything super wild today. So we got a small threat today. We got a small level 1 to threat. So areas up there in like northern Utah, portions out there towards like Wyoming, central and southern Montana, areas of also like western South Dakota has a little bit of a threat. Good morning, Haley. Good morning, Emmanuel. Hope you're doing good. Sitting here in Indy. What's up, man? Hope you're doing good. Good morning from Florida. Can I check the weather for you in Abilene? Says Roy. Yeah, I got you. Let me first of all bring this up. I'm gonna position this. Yeah, we got our live sub count up here now, which I think is pretty cool. So if you guys haven't already, consider subscribing. Be greatly appreciated so we can get y'all weather updated. Anyways, so Abilene, we got a bit of rain out there currently, as you can see on the radar. Got a little bit of stuff going on, not a whole lot of anything spectacular today regarding like weather. A couple thunderstorms are possible, but nothing really big. So that's basically what that area there is. That's our thunderstorm outlook. That's where we could have some thunderstorm activity here in this light shade of green. Now the dark shade of green, like I mentioned, this is where a couple severe storms are possible. No tornadoes, thankfully. We don't want any of that. No tornadoes today. We do got ourselves a wind threat, though. Got a 5% chance for damaging winds. Some areas out there, including like Salt Lake City. You guys are inside of a little bit of a wind risk today. Potential for a couple of gusty storms. Capable of some winds. Up to 60, between 60 and 70 mile per hour wind gusts being possible. So we'll watch out for that. Hail, we got ourselves a little bit of a hail threat. Yeah, relatively small hail threat, you can see. Just a little 5% region, nothing super excessive, just a little something there. Definitely not as big as the wind threat overall. As you can see, that the wind threat is much larger in size. The threat for damaging winds is about 200,000 square miles out there in the Rockies. So pretty solid, pretty large area for damaging wind potential. And of course, the hail is only down to 34,000 square miles, which is obviously much lower and not as crazy. We got a little bit of a hail threat though for Montana today, down there in southwestern side. Now. So, like I mentioned, no tornadoes today. Just a little bit of wind, a little bit of hail up in the Pacific Northwest. Well, that's not really. I wouldn't really consider that the Pacific Northwest. That's more of towards like the Eastern Rockies per se. What's up, tabletop? Good morning. Finally, not in a severe risk for a few days. Well, that's good. Obviously, that's a good thing. Daily says, I come from the U.S., but my cousins live in the U.K., so that's why my name is UK. Oh, gotcha. Well, good morning to you, man. Good morning to all of y'all. Like I said, I hope you guys are having a great day so far. I know it just started, but, I know it's another fun day, at school and work, of course. So I hope you guys have a great day at whatever you're doing today. Anyway, so we hop over to tomorrow's outlook. We got a big marginal. So yeah, tomorrow we got the same threat level, level 1 out of 5. Once again, the scale goes up to 5, 5 being like worst case scenario, severe weather events, and the level 1 being like, low end severe thunderstorm potential. So you can see here in the dark green, this is our marginal risk. It's a very large marginal risk, though. I mean, look how massive that is. It covers a lot of the north. In which we can actually see there that there's quite a broad area here for severe weather tomorrow. This is for Wednesday, okay? So Wednesday, we got to watch out there towards like Colorado, Wyoming, portions out there towards Montana, Nebraska, North and South Dakota, as well as Minnesota. I could see a little bit of severe weather tomorrow, so we'll watch out for that. No tornadoes, once again, thankfully. That's obviously good news. We don't want no naders. That's something we definitely do not want. So we're not expecting that in the next 2 days. So that's a good thing. We're not expecting any tornadoes throughout today being Tuesday and tomorrow being Wednesday. We should be pretty good on tornadoes. So that's good. But once again, similar to today, we do have a wind threat. Tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow's risk is pretty darn massive. It's like I said, it covers a lot of the north, a lot of the central northern U.S., a lot of the central northern plains, portions of the Rockies included too, and, bits what I consider the upper Midwest, like Minnesota. That's, Iowa, Minnesota. I consider that the upper Midwest. I consider these states the northern plains, and this is like the central plains between Nebraska, Kansas. Anyways, it just depends on, how you think it is. But anyways, yeah, so a bit of a wind threat tomorrow, pretty widespread shot. Winds are not going to be anything, super excessive. We're not expecting anything greater than really 70 miles an hour. We could see some gusts maybe between 60, maybe worst case scenario up to 70. But honestly, the odds are pretty low, 5% chance tomorrow. It's a pretty low wind threat. So that's good. That's good. Of course, we don't want any, we don't want anything super crazy, but we do got ourselves a bit of a wind risk. Now, hail risk, look at that. It's like nearly identical. The hail threat's the same, pretty much as the wind threat. A little bit smaller in Colorado, as you can see. So there's a slight difference in size there, but anyways, yeah, hail could be an issue tomorrow too. We could have potential maybe for some hail ranging between 1 and 2 inches in diameter here tomorrow. Same thing for today, like I mentioned. Today's hail threat, little itty bitty threat up there in southwestern Montana, south central Montana there. So just a little bit of that. But yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a bigger day. Then we work our way into Thursday. Thursday, as of now, doesn't seem like much of a problem. Just seems like a bit of storm activity in the central U.S. and maybe bits of the southeast. Just typical sea breeze, thunderstorms. It's just normal for this time of the year. Could have some storms up across the mid-Atlantic too. Maybe a little bit of thunderstorm activity, but nothing severe. This would be for, like I said, Thursday. Overall. So Thursday, there's that. Wednesday, like I said, being tomorrow. Wednesday, we have a pretty big marginal risk up north and then portions of the Rockies. And of course, today we have just a little bit of a severe weather threat. Nothing big, some storms in the deep south out there in, the Gulf Coast and some of those Gulf states there. We could have a couple thunderstorms, nothing severe. Meanwhile, up here, up in the Rockies, towards Wyoming, portions of Montana, actually, like I said, Salt Lake City area, Utah, northern Utah could be seeing a couple strong to potentially severe storms today. Once again, no tornadoes today, just a little bit of gusty winds, and for Utah, just gusty winds, but a little bit of hail included for Montana there. So we'll keep an eye out there for that. Tabletop says anything down the line. Let's see, next week for severe in the East Coast. Okay, so we're gonna get into that now. Actually, we're gonna first of all let's take a look at the SPC 4 to 8 outlook. So here for Friday, as of now, predictability is too low. We're not expecting anything as of right now. Same thing for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. So yeah, looking pretty good. Nothing in the long range, no major system or anything like that's expected. One thing I do want to look at with you folks, though, is I do want to pull up the upper level shear, because I do want to show you guys something that's kind of catching my eye. I don't think it'll be much of anything crazy though, but I wanted to show it anyways. Let's see, we'll do 500 millibar wind barbs. We'll fill that up and turn that down to 0.25. So right now we have a trough, a big dip in the jet stream across, the New England. It's actually really cold this morning. I wouldn't say really, really cold, but it's colder than normal. If we take a look at my other map down and below, if you guys can see that well enough, take a look at the recent observations. Look at that. Temperatures are in the 40, wow, 30s in some spots. Look at that, man. Wow. Yeah, we reached down in the 30s. Mount Washington's at 30 degrees this morning. 55-mile-an-hour winds out there. That's some of your lower level shear. Since the mountains, pretty tall up there, it's actually getting into the lower atmospheric winds. Obviously well above the surface, sea level, I should say. But yeah, it's starting to get into it. But yeah, I mean, temperatures, yeah, they're down in the 30s. In the 30s and 40s out there. New Hampshire, pretty cold. Same thing for New York State there too this morning. It's pretty darn chilly. Some areas here kind of showing upper 30s, lower 40s. Some get in towards the middle 40s. Closer to the lake where you have that the lake effect feel. With the warmer temperatures. Yeah, it's going to be a little warmer towards the coastlines because those lakes can kind of hold some heat. Keeping that air temperature relatively warmer compared to some of those inner areas that's not influenced by the lakes directly. Let's see here. Haley, as of now, there's nothing severe for you. Is there anything going on in the Atlantic? Yeah, we got 2 areas. We'll take a look at that here in a minute. But I wanted to pull this up here. But like I mentioned, yeah, currently right now we do have that jet stream. We have a little bit of a trough, we call it, a big dip in the jet stream. So basically we have a lot of that cooler air coming down from Canada and shooting its way up here to the northeast. So yeah, this is New England. Cooler air is coming down from Canada, really causing a chilly morning this morning up in New England. And like I said, the trough here, those, in this case, our mid-level wind shear. Mid-level winds, go to the southeast and then they kind of turn rapidly to the northeast. So it's like a big ramp, basically. But anyways, yeah, let's take this down in time. This is the GFS model here. This is the American GFS, and so like I mentioned, we have that trough out there up in the north, and we work our way down in time, and something you're going to notice here is that we have another trough coming up for the country. This is here for Friday. This Friday, you can see that we have another dip in the jet stream here. Increasing those winds in our mid-atmosphere. The thing I'm wondering, though, like I mentioned, I'm not too concerned about this right now, but one of the things I do want to look at with you guys is this, our CAPE. This is our instability in the atmosphere. According to this model, it doesn't look like there's a lot of energy in our atmosphere to produce severe weather, so, areas up here look pretty good. Latest GFS, though, actually, I don't think that's latest. Oh, I'm surprised they haven't updated the 06 Zulu yet on this map here. Anyways, but yeah, according to this model, it really doesn't look like there's going to be much instability, involved. So that's good news. Obviously, if we had more instability, that could mean more problems. Wow, that thing really digs in the country according to GFS. Holy cow! Look at that, man. Wow, that really digs down. That goes up there towards like Kentucky and Ohio. Yeah, look at that trough, that big dip there. Goes right through. That's here for the Saturday commute. For Saturday coming up. Let's see, and then of course, this thing, it looks like it detaches from the main jet stream, kind of becomes its own independent little low here. But wow, man. Yeah, so like I mentioned, at least from what the GFS shows us, it doesn't look like there's, it really doesn't look like that there's much instability involved with that wind shear. So that's going to be good. That should keep storms, relatively at ease. Let's try Euro. I know European model here was talking about something similar too. So let's hop over to ECMWF. This is now the European model here that we're rolling our way into. Let's see. Oh, we got a new run, I think. Oh Why is this out of date? Hold on, let me refresh this page here, man. I think that might be a bit of a problem. Give it a minute. Let's see here. ECMWF. Ah, there we go. I think I think that model, I just had to refresh the page there. It was a little out of date. All right, let's pull up our mid-level wins again. Let's see here. 500 millibar. So mid-level shear. Turn on our barbs. Turn this down to 0.25. Okay. So remember, we were just looking at the GFS, the American model. So now we're going to look at the Euro, which is also known as the ECMWF model. So Euro immediately, right off the bat here. So today's Tuesday. According to Euro, like I mentioned, there's a good amount of instability out there. That's actually a part of, let's see, SPC day 1. Let's see here. That's outdated. That's outdated. Run there. Let's give that a second to load. SPC's website. It's being a little slow right now. Honestly, yeah, that's kind of late. That's kind of late. That's for Ozulu. That's for 7 Central, 7 p.m. for you guys out there. But big blob of instability. I don't think GFS really showed that instability out there. Anyways, so we work way down in time. Here comes that big dip in the jet stream. So obviously at this point in time, we know that both the Euro and the GFS, so both the American and the European model, agree on this big long wave trough coming down here for basically Friday and Saturday. The thing is, though, like I mentioned, the GFS didn't really pick up on any instability. Euro, on the other hand, you can kind of see maybe a little bit of instability, not a lot at all, though. That would really not get a lot going, but could be enough maybe for some marginalized storm activity. But I don't know. We'll have to see how that plays out. Like I said, not all models agree on that, of course. Then, we dig our way further down in time. It seems like both the models really agree on the kinematic side of this thing, though. Yeah, it really shows that trough, kind of detaching from the jet stream overall, and really amplifying those mid-level winds up in New England there for basically Friday, Saturday and Sunday before kind of spiraling off. So, anyways, well, that's that, man. That's that. Here, let's see if we can compare. I don't know if this will fit on the screen here for you guys, but we'll try it. It doesn't really look like it. Let me here. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be tight, isn't it? Shoot, I don't think I can do this. Here, let me get rid of one of these panels here. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna open up another one, and we're gonna go to GFS. Okay, and then we're gonna go to. Actually, you know what? No, there's a better way of doing this. Yeah, we'll just do what we did before, I guess. So yeah, here's Euro. So once again, this is ECMWF. Now the GFS model, you can see how it's relatively in the same spot. So we have that trough maybe positioned a little bit more to the west with that latest model. So you see, the main trough here, that big dip in the jet stream. There's your central low over Canada, and if we hop, so that's GFS. Hop to Euro, you can see it's still in place. So kinematics, I mean, obviously, down to, micro scale stuff, there's, a little bit of differences, but the overall big picture, the macro scale of things is pretty on point between both those models. So that's good. That is good. So there is a bit of agreement there. And like I said, that's for next Saturday. So we already have agreement a week out. So that's pretty good. All right, let's take a moment, look at the tropics. I know you guys are probably wondering what the heck's going on in the tropics here. Let's pull up Hurricane Center real quickly so we can do the latest advisory, latest update here for you guys. So got 2 systems we're watching, got 2 disturbances. One out there just south of Puerto Rico, south there of the Dominican Republic, just north of Venezuela. West of the Windward Islands down there in the Caribbean, kind of the eastern Caribbean there. So this guy is working his way to the west here. This the storm's currently located, like I said, just right there in the eastern Caribbean. So anyway, so it's right around 14 degrees north latitude, and about, what is this? 68 degrees west, roughly. Kind of where that central low is located. anyways, gradual northwesterly movement is expected over the next couple of days, where this thing could turn into a tropical system here. Actually, we're about to get a brand new update from the Hurricane Center. It comes out at 8 o'clock, I believe. So we might be live for that, actually. So this is, like I said, this is kind of old data here, but this is the latest we got. We'll probably get a new update here soon. But as of now, overall formation chance with the storm here, you can see in the next 7 days is 40% chance. So obviously, odds are not super high right now. It's certainly possible we could get, maybe some form of development in the next week or so, as the system goes towards the Yucatan. Yeah, there was a run or two of GFS recently that was showing the storm maybe even turning into a tropical storm or hurricane as it approached the Yucatan. Not all models agree on that. Matter of fact, the Euro completely disagrees with that. So I'm not buying it yet, but we'll see how the models continue to handle this, and we'll see if this thing becomes an investigation or not. But anyways, but yeah, so we'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, formation in the next 2 days, 48 hours, 0%. We're not expecting this thing to do anything in the next 2 days. Within the next 7 days, though, like I mentioned, the next week, we've got a 40% chance. So that's certainly a possibility. Now with the other guy, so that's, like I said, that could impact the Yucatan. So just if you're out there in the Yucatan, keep a close eye on the storm. And of course, you got this little guy over here. This is disturbance 2, relatively same note for the most part. Now this one has a 10% chance of developing in the next 2 days or 48 hours. Odds are very low, of course, within the next 2 days. So we're not expecting it really to develop in the next 2 days. But yeah, throughout the next 7 days, we got another 40% chance. So, it's as of now, it's still kind of unlikely for anything big popping off with those storms. But this one's going to ride just south of the Cabo Verde, which will track to the northwest. Now, this guy, disturbance 2, shouldn't be a problem. More than likely, this thing will just kind of get sucked up in the central Atlantic. So don't see much issues with that storm. The only one I really want to keep an eye out there for, the only one we really should be watching for the most part, is this guy here. This one out there in the this tracking through the Caribbean right now. This is the one I want to keep an eye out there for, because there's been some talk. Some of the models are like, hey, there's a possibility this thing could maybe track into the southern Gulf of Mexico and maybe kind of just do some funky stuff, maybe develop into something. I don't know. We'll see. Some models have it developing before. Let's look at that. Actually, we're gonna pull up those latest models here. Let's do the latest here. We're gonna take a look at those, and we're gonna start off with the GFS here, as we typically do. So, anyways, so let's go ahead and do that. So yeah, here's the American GFS. We got the 06 Zulu run that just came out. So, okay, so there it is. You can see right there. I know it's very hard to make out on the screen. My bad. So that's right there. That's the storm. That's for September 8th. Latest GFS had that thing going a little further south than the previous runs, it looks like. That would be good news. The storm goes over the Yucatan, kind of just dies out for the most part, and then that's the end of the story. It could, according to this model, it could maybe pick up in the EPAC, Eastern Pacific. I don't know if it will or not, of course, but latest GFS really doesn't have much happening. Now, with the other guy, the other storm we're keeping it out there towards the Cabo Verde, this one, like I said, it's not going to be much of an issue, I don't think. Maybe a little bit of rain for the Cabo Verde, but nothing big. Really nothing either. So yeah, GFS really doesn't have much happening in the tropics here, which, like I said, they have that percentage overall at 40% for both the storms of developing overall, which is pretty low. So we're not super confident right now in those storms there. Anyways, moving over to Euro. This is the ECMWF. This is the European model. And Euro, as we work way down in time here, has that system. There you go, right there for September 6th out there by the Yucatan. We work way further down in time. This according to Euro, maybe a little bit of something, a little bit of activity maybe as it crosses into the southern Gulf before going over Mexico. Yeah, once again, this is almost a good 200 hours out. So this is kind of in la land here. Obviously, there's a lot that can still change at this point, but these models aren't super high res, which getting down to the small nitty gritty stuff, that's where it kind of lacks performance. But once you get up in the those other models, like the HWRF, which is not running right now. Yeah, they're not running right now because the storm's not even in investigation yet. So that means there's no hurricane models running right now for these guys. But anyways, yeah, Euro, like I said, maybe something, I don't know. Euro also, like I said, in La La Land has another little wave rolling off Africa there for the 9th, which, like I said, that's a little far out for my liking. There's that little other disturbance there, just passing shy to the southwest of the Cabo Verde. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, either way, like I said, latest runs of both the Euro, the ECMWF, and latest runs of the GFS, the American model. It looks like things are pretty quiet. Pretty quiet. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if these probabilities lower in this next upcoming update, which should be coming out soon. Like I said, I believe they update at 8 o'clock. Usually they come out a little earlier, so sometimes anytime now. Yeah, anytime we could get a new update out there. Eastern Pacific, we don't got nothing going on out here. Central Pacific, all those tropical storms we were watching there a couple days ago, those are all gone. Those things kind of died, either by upper level shear or just moving into cooler waters. But yep, so those storms have finally hit the dust. But like I said, Atlantic has a little bit of something going on, but nothing alarming right now. So that's certainly good news. And like I said, this one, Disturbance 1, is the one I think we should watch the most. But it seems like the models are not super aggressive on it right now. Let's look at CMC. Here's another model. We're gonna hop to the to the West Atlantic here instead for this guy, because we're kind of done talking about Disturbance 2 here. So this is an interesting take. So you can see there CMC, which is another model here. You can see that disturbance there rolling in towards the Western Caribbean here. This is right at September 5th, roughly. It hits near the Yucatan Peninsula for like September 6th early, according to this model. And then that low rolls its way into the Southern Gulf there before maybe organizing into something. I don't know. We'll have to see. And then, of course, rolling all that rain into Mexico. Now, like I said, not the other models agree on that, okay? So that's kind of still up for grabs. But anyways, Icon, I know everybody loves Icon for some reason. Icon model shows, look at that little disturbance forming there. Oh, that's interesting. So according to Icon, it actually has that little area we were watching beforehand, like maybe reviving itself, turning into maybe a depression before kind of meeting that other storm. That's a really wild model. That's a really wild run there. Okay. Well, yeah, anyways. Also showing another guy over here. You see that? According to Icon. Yeah, there's no precip or moisture. Or, sorry, no moisture browsing on that model there. That's really about all we got regarding, like I said, the hurricane models. They ain't running on these guys yet because they're not investigations. Like I said, we don't even know if they're going to become invests yet. Right now, they're just disturbances and tropical waves. And if they turn into something a little more concerning, then they'll give it an invest number. And then at that point, that's whenever hurricane models will activate. We'll start getting some more, more in-depth detail with that system, and if it gets real serious, then the hurricane hunters will fly into it and kind of analyze it and do some model set up the models by doing all kinds of reconnaissance flights and flying around the storm dropsondes and kind of pulling all that weather data and then putting it into the models to kind of enhance those hurricane models that we know and love. But like I said, that's if it becomes a big problem. Which, like I said, as of right now, I'm not super concerned, honestly, with that system. So, yeah, we'll watch it though. I mean, of course, there's still some possibility it could do something. Models ain't perfect after all, and sometimes nature just decides it wants to be a little crazier than what models actually end up picking up on. So, we will see. We will see. I'm doing good, Haley. Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking. Daily says the Atlantic is starting up. Kind of. It's been pretty quiet. We've had a lot of dry air and dust getting into the way of our hurricane season this year, which is kind of a very difficult thing to forecast. Forecasting dust is something you really can't do that well. And of course, it's a very big component to a hurricane season. But yeah, there's been a lot of precipitation. The anomalies are out of the roof right now up in Africa. So basically, we have a lot of precipitation, a lot more than normal out there in the Sahara Desert. A lot of rain has been falling in some of those regions. It's a little odd to see that. And with that being said, there's been a lot of dust being kicked up too, kind of spewing all over the Atlantic, keeping things relatively suppressed for the most part of this year. It's just a matter of when that calms down and how many tropical waves we get heading off of Africa. But it's certainly interesting. Certainly it's interesting. Let's see if they updated the outlook yet. I don't think they have. Yeah. Like I mentioned, they should update that soon. We should get a new update from the NHC here very, very soon. So we'll stay tuned for that for a minute. Let's see here. Thank you once again, Haley. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. And like I said, if you guys are just tuning in here, good morning. Hope you guys are having a great morning so far. I know it's pretty early for a lot of us. Like I said, right now it's almost 8 a.m. here, so it's a little early. Everybody's starting to wake up for the day and all that stuff. And I just want to go ahead and say, like I said, I hope you guys have a great day today. If you need it, like I said, just have a great day and try not to let things that are bothering you right now bother you. Like I said, I know I'm just a little weather channel on YouTube, but I want to say that we're here for you. We appreciate your company, and I want to make you guys just know that you're welcome here. So for the people who needed to hear that, there you go. Let that be a day to start off your day right, or let that be a thing to start off your day right there. All right, so moving on in here into HRRR. This is a high resolution rapid refresh model. It's a very fancy model run. So as we approach our way to later today, as you can see here kind of for the afternoon, evening hours, we do have a bit of instability. So a bit of thunderstorm juice, we'll call it, available up there in like North and South Dakota. Maybe a little bit of thunderstorm juice. The only problem is that you see that thing, CIN, as convective inhibition. I know it's a big word. All you really need to know is that prevents thunderstorms from happening if it's strong enough. If you want a little more information, it's basically a warm layer in our atmosphere that kind of prevents thunderstorm columns from rising any further up in the atmosphere. That's about as far as I'm going to go right now for you guys, because if you want to know more about it, you can look it up, but or you can save it for another day. But anyways, so yeah, that could be an issue to keeping those storms suppressed today. Although some areas do have a pretty good amount of instability. Let's look at the simulated radar. Yeah, you can see there's nothing firing off there. It's because of that cap, that suppressing warm layer, just going to keep the thing mostly non-active. I mean, you can see a little bit of rain showers, but that's not convective. Meanwhile, I will say though, like I mentioned today, we could have a little bit of storm activity up there towards like Montana and stuff. Like I mentioned, we do have our. Oh, that's not the SBC. Yeah, like I mentioned, we have that. Got that marginal out there towards like southern Montana, portions of Wyoming, western South Dakota, portions of like northern Utah. Could be a possibility. And then, like I said, of course, we have a bit of storm. Oh, there we go. Got our new outlook, guys. Should be coming out any second. Daily UK says you're the best. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. But yeah, you can see that we do have some storm activity out there. Let me pull up this fancy program I very much love. One of my most powerful programs we got here now. Let's pull up HRRR again. We're going to use the same model, just different web page here. Same model, same run, same overall outcome. But yeah, let's do precip. We're going to do composite reflectivity. We're going to go ahead and add our future radar there. And on top of that, I'm going to add our skew-T chart. It should give us some lapse rate information and stuff like that. So that'll, I'm trying to position myself pretty well here for you guys. So you can see both lapse rates and or both skew-T chart and also what we're looking at. So anyways, but yeah, like I mentioned, there's going to be a bit of activity here later on today. You can see, look at that, look at all those storms. Oh, it's really hard for me to fit all this in there. Here you go. You can see as we work way down in time here that those storms start to fire off here. That's going to be like 19 or 20 Zulu UTC. So, and according to whenever those storms fire off here, it looks like, yeah, it's gonna be relatively localized because, you know, there's these soundings are all over the place, you know, due to elevational change and all kinds of junk like that. But you know, trying to find an actual reasonable skew-T chart here for us to look at. See, some of these are capped out. Some of these are just ridiculous lapse rates here. Anyways, well, yeah, storms will fire off. Let's talk about that. Our wind shear, so basically our wind. So this is like lower atmosphere. This is like surface level. This is up in the atmosphere. So our winds are going to be mostly moving to the northeast here. Our strongest winds are going to be obviously up in the upper atmosphere, which, you know, is not as effective in organizing storms as it would be like towards mid-levels. But anyways, but yeah, I don't think we're going to see anything big, like I mentioned. You know, if anything, we're going to get some hail, you know, a bit of hail and some gusty winds. That's really about all I see out of that, honestly. You know, that's really about all. I don't really see much of a big problem like with tornadoes or anything like that. Like I mentioned, that's good. You know, we don't want no-naders, like I mentioned. All right, let's pull up the new outlook, y'all. Let's see what we got going on in the tropics. Here we go. Oh, hello. Y'all see that? There's a new storm, or a new area. That's the one we were just peeking at from one of the models. I was saying hello to that. Anyways, so disturbance 1's still 40%. Nothing's changed on that. Same as this one over here. Disturbance 2, still 10% chance of formation in the next 2 days or 48 hours. And 7 days, 40% chance. But we got a new guy over here. Look at that. Disturbance 3. Another tropical wave is located about midway between the west coast of Africa and the Lesser Antilles, producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Some slow development is possible during the next couple of days while the storm system moves northwestward by the end of the week. However, environmental conditions are expected to become unfavorable for additional development. So probably either a lack of moisture or upper level winds. The water, as we already know, is warm enough out here, so that's not the problem. But so it'll probably be an issue maybe with the wind shear, or either that or like I mentioned, moisture. Let's look at that actually. Yeah, let's pull that up and see. So like I was mentioning, icon, there it is right there. See it, little guy rolling over there? Yeah, it looks like it kind of gets suppressed pretty well. Let's try GFS here. Okay, let me pull up moisture. I think that could. Okay, so it has its own little bubble of moisture. You can see there in the blue. Is it a lot of moisture? Not really. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it would be protected from the U.S. either way, because there's going to be a really strong ripping jet that's just going to rip that thing apart more than likely. Seems like moisture is a problem with that storm. Let me try wind shear here. Well, it's kind of hard to tell. I think it could be battling some type of wind shear, but it doesn't seem like it's anything super ridiculously wild. Yeah, I think the main problem with that storm is going to be a lack of moisture. honestly. Let me pull it up in the here. We're gonna look at the observational side of things here. Let's opt the sat. I want to take a peek at it, see what she's doing right now. Let's do east US, and we're gonna pull up. Let's see. Full disk. What do we want to use? Guess we could do mid-level water vapor. Let's do that. Okay, so there it is right there. That's it. That little blob you see, that's that one area that was just added. That guy right there. Let me change some things up here. I like doing this a different way. We're gonna do HSB here. We're gonna incorporate that. How did I do this before? I forgot. It's been a while since I've done this, but shoot. Oh, here we go. I think I got it. Upper color. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, I kind of want to. I like the water vapor better this way. And then we'll do this. Turn that down, and then we'll make it to where. There we go. So the darker areas are drier air, and the brighter areas are more moisture. Anyways, so you can see this big little waft of dry air. That's the storm we were just talking about. That's the new disturbance right there. Here's the other one, just literally thunderstorms, and then the other guy is just, once again, literally thunderstorms. That new disturbance looks puffy. It looks interesting. Here, let's loop it. See what happens here in the last few loops here. Yeah, I mean, it's got a good amount of thunderstorm activity. But yeah, like we mentioned, there's that dry air. Look at that. So yeah, the models, that's what I was talking to you guys about. I think dry air could be an issue. And now looking at observations, you can actually see this big patch of dry air that's shifting to the southeast. And, you know, this storm's going to the northwest. So they're eventually going to converge. That's going to suppress some thunderstorm activity within that storm. And that will likely cause this thing to not really do anything. So while it's in this little band of moisture, it has a little bit of a chance of doing something. But like I mentioned, 10% chance. Odds are pretty low. So not really anything. I mean, not like it would do anything anyways if it did, considering that it's, you know, pretty far from anywhere of land. You know, just Jimmy and his sailboat out there would have a bit of an issue, but maybe with some localized storms, but it should be fine. But anyways. But yeah, no, you can see that dry air over there, though. That storm's going to run into it, which that's going to allow for the storm to kind of die out. So that's that. There's that. Oh yeah, remember we were talking about that trough up in the U.S. So right now we have this big flow or a big dip in the jet stream, a big trough here. So we have a lot of cooler air coming up from Canada, shooting down into the New England region, and of course you can see those winds are really ripping out here towards that frontal boundary there. There's a cold front right in here. That's why it's cooler this morning. We got a bit of cooler air coming in from the north, so that's going to be a temporary cool patch there for a little bit. Let's take a look at more areas in the U.S. Got some pretty dry air in the southwest here. Not a lot going on up here. Same thing up in New England for the most part. I mean, while we do have cooler temperatures, the air is pretty dry. Little different for areas in the south, though. Like I mentioned, we're going to have some storms out here today throughout the south. You know, throughout like Texas and you know the southeastern U.S. We're gonna have some storms. Of course, you can start to see some of those, some of that moisture up there towards Wyoming, portion of Montana. We do have that risk out there for some storms today. But yeah, you can see that. You can kind of see where the moisture's at. Where positioning of thunderstorms is going to be today. How about Minnesota? Minnesota's not really looking like much going on today. If you look at Minnesota, you know, we do have a little bit of moisture in some of our mid-levels here, but if we hop over to the models, which, SPC Outlook, you're not included in any form of thunderstorm risk, so we're not expecting any thunderstorms to really occur out there today for you. So things should be pretty good. You know, not really anything going on in that realm. Looking at future radar from the HRRR, maybe a few showers, but nothing convective, nothing thunderstorm related. So, meanwhile, up here in the up in the Rockies, you can see that there's a bit of storms out there. But yeah, for you, pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, you can see that later on today we get some convection, but I mean, if we overlap it, look at the current observation of mid-level water vapor on satellite, you can see once again that there's a pretty good swath of moisture. So let's see, interesting, cool. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Pretty neat how all of that kind of comes together. It's really cool to have good grasp on the observational field. Like right now, looking at satellite, kind of seeing where the air masses are, where areas of dry or where areas of moist. As well as looking at models and kind of depicting, where this is going to end up in the future. And like I mentioned, the Hurricane Center, they just issued a disturbance 3 on this guy. Like I mentioned, it's probably not going to do much. It looks fairly okay right now. I mean, like I said, it looks fairly decent, but like you said, you can see in that darker color here, that drier air is going to be coming towards that guy. That's the storm. Dry air is going to head that way, and that's just going to kind of lower those thunderstorms in that overall system. Kind of suppressing it and preventing the thing from really going on. Not to mention, if you look closely, you can see that we have some strong southeasterly wind shear up here. So you see those winds are coming down pretty quick. More than likely, the storm will, as it approaches the northwest or goes to the west-northwest here, as it does continue going there, the winds will likely increase as well, kind of preventing the storm from taking off any further. So between the dry air, between the stronger upper-level winds, that could be an issue for that storm, or I should say will be an issue for that storm, really preventing it from going on. Let's see. I don't think that new disturbance will do anything. No, I don't think so either. I honestly do think that it's going to be not really much of an issue. Like I said, with that drier air, the convection is going to be suppressed and all that. My meteorologists are studying. I've been studying for about 8 years. About 8 years. Yeah, I've been doing this for quite a while. I started in 2016 studying meteorology, and been doing it for a while. It's been quite a road. But yeah, no, I agree. I really don't think we're going to see much with that storm there. I mean, like I said, even if it did magically do something, turn into a depression at very least, at very most, I should say. At that point, it wouldn't even do anything because it's not even anywhere towards any land, so not really much of an area we need to be worried about. Unless you're a boater and you're going that way, that could be an issue, but... Anyways, and then of course, like I mentioned, we got, you can actually see that swirl. Look at that. Look at that counterclockwise movement. Y'all see that? A little bit of a low. You can see that counterclockwise spin. Anyways, that's the other system we're looking out there for. So we'll watch it. Zero says, what's up? Thanks for the forecast. No, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing. That means a lot to me. And you're very welcome. Of course. Like I said, I'm here for you. Want to help you out when I can. That's the whole point of the channel, is to keep you all weather updated and keep you all weather aware. But thank you, man. Appreciate that. All right. Well, y'all, I think we're going to probably roll off the morning update here. We've been live for almost an hour. Just wanted to kind of hop on here for a morning update, do a little run over to the models and, a little bit of an observational look at things via satellite. We'll be back live tonight. We'll be back live later tonight doing some more activity or more live streaming. Sorry about that beep if you guys can hear that. It's my air conditioner. Needs there's so much condensation. So much air in Florida. It's just ridiculous. Anyways, so yeah, that thing keeps on filling up like crazy. But all right, y'all. Well, yeah, we'll catch y'all later tonight. We'll do a full-on live stream like we, on our main, on my computer. These morning updates are going to be taking place on my phone. Quick and simple. Just wake up. Don't have to worry about a thumbnail. Then tonight we'll do our main one. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Once again, appreciate you for joining. If you are new to the channel, consider leaving a like and subscribing. That will be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. And alrighty, guys, have a great day. Once again, try to keep your head up today. If there's anything that's bothering you, don't let it get to you. Just have a good day, and like I mentioned, just know you matter. Know that people love you, and all that. But okay, guys, once again, thanks for joining. We'll see ya later on. Peace out, my friends. Catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.